Greeting and welcome to Men's Fashion Insider. I'm your host, Marcellus L. Jones. In today's exciting episode, I have for you the new spring summer collections by D Squared. I also have for you Ermenegildo Zegna and Brioni. Then it's over to Lisbon for Miguel Vieira's presentation of his new collection. But first, it's over to our North American correspondent, Chris Howson, with more.
Thanks, Marcellus. From New York, we look at Ducky Brown's latest collection. Then in Toronto, we catch up with Strellson for their spring summer looks. But first, it's Marcellus in Europe.
We're backstage for the presentation of the Ermenegildo Zegna collection for Spring-Summer 2012. Now, before we bring that show to you, I have the storyboard of the collection right here behind me. Now, as we can see, Ermenegildo Zegna is giving us some wonderful surprises this season. They are giving us lots of beautiful, very spring, very airy colors that are very light, very pleasant to wear, and very pleasant to just look at. Now, of course, we see some shorts brought into the collection towards looks number 30, 31 here. Up above here, we see the very large bags that we have for the weekend and for during the weekend. Of course, we see lots of long coats in the collection in different colors and in different styles. Now, the wonderful thing about this collection is with a house like Ermenegildo Zegna, we know that the tailoring is going to play an integral part in the success of this collection. However, another thing about this collection is that they've decided to take the collection slightly into a very different direction, but not too much, because the house still identifies with the Ermenegildo Zegna man. But this season, it is quite nice and quite wonderful the way the house has decided to give us these wonderful spring colors with lots of yellows and mints and tans and off-whites. I'm excited about this collection. I know it's going to be an amazing one, so stay right there.
The show is amazing. This collection is very special because it's very Mediterranean. Where in Italy, you know that how much the sun is important for this country, and the sun is really worked out through the entire collection, the colors, as if every material and every color had been bleached by the sun. So you have this unbelievable color palette that is fading away from the power of each color into something very subtle. The blues, the mauve, the green, even the sandy color have lost their consistency. And then they play along very nicely together with the material which is really the king of the season, which is silk.
In look number 37, we have the sophistication, but we also have the very seduction of the Ermenegildo Zegna man, which is coming forth here today.
Yes, this is a pure silk suit, very light. Imagine that the fabric weighs 110 grams. So it would be like a shirt, but it's tailored in a way that you look pristine if you were wearing almost a winter cashmere. Then there are other looks which are interesting with Napa, for example, where you wear the silk jacket on Napa pants, slightly wrinkled, very comfortable, or this jacket set where you have two actually layers, a jacket and a coat, which are the same kind of fabric, the same color, but give a totally different hue. So from the outerwear to the sartorial to the chic the evening, you can really be a head-to-toe Zegna man.
I was very amazed, as a matter of fact. I was just telling Serge that I think it's very loose, very decontracted, you know. We don't see the tailoring. They are very well known for that, and usually they do that in Zegna. What do you think about that, Serge?
Yeah, it was pretty cool as an attitude, but I'm pretty sure for summer also it's kind of obvious that you have to show something else than suits. So it was great about the colors and very fresh and beautiful accessories, by the way.
That was the Spring-Summer 2012 collection by fashion house Ermenegildo Zegna. This collection had a lot of surprises in store for us. We're not used to seeing so many colors in the Ermenegildo Zegna principal line. For example, we saw lots of mints, we saw some light eggplants, we saw some pinks. Now, these colors were not at all intense. Actually, they had been faded out by the sun in a very natural process. Of course, the one thing that remains evident about this collection, that no matter how the colors change, no matter how young they make the collection, the tailoring will always bring you back to the DNA of the house. And without a doubt, when you see it, you know that it is Ermenegildo Zegna. I'm Marcelo Sal Jones here in Milan, Italy. You're watching Men's Fashion Insider. Men's Fashion Insider has come to one of our most stylish stops of the Fashion Week in Milan. We are at Brioni, and we have a wonderful presentation just in store for you.
For this season, we were very inspired by Cuba, 1950. The color palette for this season is really all about Brioni light in construction, light in color, but still about an impeccably dressed man. So we have presented several looks for you. The jacket is completely unlined, soft construction, shown with a knit shirt, a linen Bermuda short, sandal, and a handmade Panama. This is where we used leather this season. We treated everything lightweight, super lightweight python, matte finish, 50s inspired graphic silk print shirt, the woven belt, and the coordinating trouser. Pedro's wearing a beautiful day jacket in silk shantung, 180 grams, super lightweight, completely unconstructed, with a cotton and silk piqué shirt in rose and a beautiful tropical print-inspired silk foulard. Here we have our new silhouette, which is a soft, completely soft constructed suit, softer shoulder, completely unconstructed jacket, still done in a Brioni impeccably tailored way, with a Panama woven shoe and a tropical foliage-inspired print silk shirt. And as Brioni is known for the iconic tuxedo or smoking, we did our version this season in the white dinner jacket. Again, completely unconstructed. All of these jackets are our new jacket called Puma, which means feather in Italian. So they're all constructed out of very lightweight fabric. Again, silk shantung, single button, very natural lapels, smaller shoulder, suppressed waist with a classic tuxedo trouser. And his tuxedo shirt is in linen. And if you would note that the linens, this is actually hand-pleated and hand-stitched. So again, the jackets are handmade, also the hand-pleated shirt, beautiful, the slightly oversized bow tie, and the Panama. So the looks were really inspired to us by casual tropical elegance, chic, something about style in a man's wardrobe, very sophisticated color palette. We like the idea of linen. It pleats very well. There was a tropical element to it. It's very cool, very comfortable. We like the linen with the silk. Well, we were inspired by Cuba because 1950s in Cuba was a period of great elegance and style, the early 50s. And we wanted something that said tropical elegance. It was also very colorful. Brioni, from our archives, has a story of color, of silk, and of this sort of tropical elegance. And it really worked well with what we wanted to do by taking ideas from our archive and bringing them forward into a very fresh and modern perspective. So we were very inspired by the color, the mood, the feeling of Cuba at this period.
That is the new Spring-Summer 2012 collection by Mr. Jason Basmancian for Italian fashion brand Brioni. They've done an amazing collection which is inspired by Cuba in the 1950s, all of the elegance, the warmth, and the color for this new wonderful collection for Spring-Summer 2012. I'm Marcelo Sal Jones, and I am in Milan, Italy, and you are watching Men's Fashion Insider.
Coming up, Marcellus has our favorite design twins, D Squared, plus newcomer Giulio Torcato. Then in Toronto, IF Strelson. Welcome back to Men's Fashion Insider. Coming up, Marcellus brings us D Squared and IF Strelson in Toronto.
Good morning, Dan and Dean. We're here for your new collection for Spring Summer 2012. From dawn to dawn, what does that mean for you boys?
Early morning to early morning.
Also, it never ends, yeah?
Doesn't end. So we're gonna try to do the 4 facets of our life, what we need to take us from the morning to the night. So we start off in Scandinavia, where it's a little fresher. We're gonna go to a little fisherman town, oversized parkas, skinny legs, chunky boots, knit hats, they're wrapped up, it's brisk. Followed by lunch in Mykonos on the beach, blistering sun, bright color, nylon shorts, bathing suits, towels, sweats, tees, our colorful casual sport. Then we move to Florence, a sunset in Florence where it'll be more elegant, romantic, sartoriale, tailored jacket, crop pants. Finishing in London, where we're going to be a night out in the town, a little bit electronic, a little bit edgy, punky, black, red, white, and a little bit of animal.
This is my first time here. Really wanted to come here to experience, what Fashion World was really about. Europe is the place, so just coming out here, enjoying the shows, and getting an opportunity to do it for the first time is awesome. I thought the show was amazing. It was kind of like, as we like to say, it was like being at a concert. There was a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. So as I just told designers, it was an excellent show. Kept us on our toes. We wanted more. So unfortunately, it had the end.
This square today, it was simply amazing collection. It was really strong. It was like they took us in holiday for the next year. We see the resort, we see the city, we see the romance, we see love. It was everything mixed as well. It was like funny collection, very, very funny. We love the colors, we love the details. The scenography was amazing, the music. It was perfect. It was so at the end of this square, it was really great.
Well, the collection started out with early morning, and then it moved from the early morning into the afternoon. We moved from city to city throughout the designers' lives. As this happened, we saw different aspects of their true personalities really begin to emerge in these collections. We saw the swimwear, we saw the pieces that one could wear as soon as they get up at 10 o'clock to head outside to go do some shopping, go to have a late breakfast or head off to an early brunch. And then as the collection went on, we saw that we moved from early morning to early afternoon, late afternoon, and then finally to evening wear. Now, it was towards the evening wear part of the collection where the true excitement really came forth onto the runway. The designers, they became really, really, really excited with the collection. We saw sequins, we saw the tuxedos, we saw bows, we saw lots of exciting elements, we saw lots of accessories as well. We expect a collection that is solid from start to end, and we expect lots of excitement. And they also gave us some entertainment with 4 guys coming out and doing a really great dance performance at the end of the show and got the audience really up on their feet. I spoke with Miami Heat star Dwayne Wade, and he was excited about the collection. He said it was his first show ever that he's ever gone to, and he was like, I'm coming back for more thanks to D Squared. You're watching Men's Fashion Insider.
For summer, we do a lot of linen, cotton and cotton linen blends and pure linen. Really, really big, but oddly enough, only in certain parts of the country. I love linen because it wrinkles. And I've heard people say, I love linen, but I hate the fact that it wrinkles. Well, you don't love linen. That's my stand on it. Linen and cottons they look great when they're just pressed, but for spring and summer, you have to have a casual feeling, even if it's in a suit of linen or cotton. It's going to get wrinkled, it's going to crease, it's going to have that wearing to it. So you just have to get used to it and accept that's kind of the nature of the beast with that. So once the days get longer, people have more time to enjoy themselves. I think they want to dress with brighter colors, they want to have softer fabrics, they want to have more of a carefree way of dressing. Color should not be something to be afraid of, whether it's lilacs and lavender shades, whether it's oranges, yellows, greens, and reds in higher shades, they're used as accent colors. I'm not saying go out and buy a yellow linen suit, but I'm saying go get a yellow tie, an orange knitwear piece, things like that. Just kind of accents. Well, starting off, as I talked about with linen, I'm going to wrinkle this up and get it nice and creased. This is a great linen mandarin collar or a round collared shirt. Great stitching detail happening here. Nice as an overshirt. I put it over a really nice graphic tee that has our stylized logo that we do, and this is actually done by a Spanish artist named Marcelo Viquez, and he is an artist that Strelsin fell in love with. He's got some great work. He's an up-and-coming young guy in Spain. Then we have one of our great sweaters here over a nice shirt. The shirt has the pops of yellow I was talking about. Don't get a yellow linen suit. This is an example where yellow works. It's just a light accent color with the gray, and on top of it is a sweater that is 80% cotton and 20% metal. Watch out if you're going through the airport. Really comfortable. It's really soft on the inside, and then you have this kind of effect with a little bit of sheen to it because of the metal fibers coming through on the outside. This is called the Display W. It's a really soft, lightweight cotton, also water repellent and wind resistant as well. Great pocket detailing. A little nylon shell hood pops out of the collar when it rains, so you are safe. Greens of all shades. Here we have a really nice washed down cotton sweater, pure cotton. We've paired that up with a great check shirt, picking up on the green stripe. And the best thing about this shirt is it is reversible. You'll notice the second set of buttons on the placket. So this gives us the chance to turn the shirt inside out and have a nice kind of 2-for-1. Then we start to think about business. What are we going to wear to the office? What are the new colors? What are the new silhouettes? So here are the new blues. We have a really nice higher shade of navy. It's not even navy. I would call this more of a lighter shade of navy. Also the ticket pocket. Nice slim cut throwback to a more classy way of dressing. This one is again picking up on the slim silhouette trend. So we have a nice trim, tight-fitting suit, but not uncomfortable. The armhole and the pitch of the sleeve are extremely comfortable, still a lot of range of motion. Great pick stitch detail, one button model, so it's really cool. On top of that, again, is a new trench. It's belted in the back, has a bit of a sheen to it, a little bit of luster to the fabric, and but is single-breasted and slimmer. So it's something that a guy can put on and feel like he's not wearing something that his father wore. It's not boxy, it's not oversized, it's nice and trim, fitting with the garment that he's putting under it. And that's what's happening. We're talking about color, we're talking about sheen and luster in the fabrics, we're talking about great denims, talking about a lot of pattern and not being afraid of color most of all.
Coming up after the break, we have New York's Ducky Brown. Then Marcellus brings us Miguel Vieira's first show of the season from Moda Lisboa. Welcome back to Men's Fashion Insider. Now we're headed to New York for the spring-summer collection from Ducky Brown. Then Marcellus takes us all the way to Portugal for Miguel Vieira.
I've been in London a lot in the last 6 months, but I mean, I think it's saying that it's like I'm always influenced by where I'm from. This season is very.
It's all about the tracksuit, and that really came from Stephen. And what you're going to see is a variation of the tracksuit.
There's a particular place in London where my brother lives. It's called Lewisham. And there is a particular boy that is in this place, and there are a lot of boys in England that are like that, or boys or men, and I think it's a kind of guy that I like, and I like what they wear, and it's a very particular boy, and they wear tracksuits, and that's where this collection was. But it isn't ever literal of like we've done tracksuits, but that's where we started. It was one image of one guy from Lewisham in a certain pub in Lewisham, and that's where it's from, and so that's what we did. I think this is a very simple collection for us. It's very clean, it's very minimal, and it's very beautiful. I mean, you know, not to everyone, but to us it is.
Take the idea of the tracksuit or the idea of a new kind of suiting. So whether it's with short shorts and a t-shirt shirt, or whether it's a 2-button jacket and a pair of trousers, they're all different kinds of suits. No guy moves easily. That is not the nature of men in fashion. But I think it's our job as fashion designers to propose new ideas. And I think the rest of the world catches up eventually.
I thought that was a really strong show for those guys. I was excited to see how serious it was. I liked the pacing, I liked the casting, I liked the beginning where the guys all walked out in those gray kind of high-tech fabrics, very lightweight. The proportions seemed new and interesting. I loved everything with those suede boots. I just really thought it seemed new, fresh, and really confident.
All right, we've arrived at the moment at the Moda Lisboa, where it's time to present the collection by Miguel Vieira for Spring/Summer 2012. Of course, Miguel Vieira, he's one of the most exciting names here presenting on the calendar. So here is the new collection by the exciting designer for Spring/Summer 2012.
This collection, I look from a post in Capri. It's about Italy. It's about the glamour, the mafia in Italy. The collection is about the Capri. And the Capri is summer. And summer is the beach. And I think all people when is with the brown color, it's very good with white colors, white clothes. And so I only keep the clothes, white clothes, from put the woman's very summer.
When you started out, of course, you started out with this wonderful white. And then as the collection went on, you added wonderful colors, you know, like wonderful pink, a very powdery, soft pink. We saw fuchsia, we saw a lilac, we saw a nice midnight blue. And it just made the collection really seem very complete for the man. Very sexy too and powerful.
Yes, the collection is very sexy, and the suites is with many colors. I have all the collection in white, but I put the colors from have more glamour in the show.
That was the new Spring/Summer 2012 menswear collection presented here at the Moda Lisboa in Lisbon, Portugal by designer Miguel Vieira. Here, Miguel Vieira is a superstar. He's also known quite well in Paris, where he also presents his collections over the past years. Now, what exactly is it that we saw in this collection today, and what are the things that we really need to maintain? Well, first of all, Miguel decided to make this a white affair. He sent out silhouettes in cotton, in linen, and trousers also in poplin. Then he turned around and he added the colors into the collection, such as the pink, we saw the lilac, we saw the red, we saw some fuchsia, and this really gave the collection that really wonderful spring international flair to it. Now, of course, he did decide to keep the silhouettes close to the body. He offered lots of single-breasted blazers and jackets, and then what I liked on some of those silhouettes as well is that we saw the two little small splits in the back of these single-breasted jackets. Now, we're normally used to seeing those type of splits on jackets that are being cut as double-breasted, but Miguel Vieira today has decided to add those to his wonderful double-breasted, well-tailored jackets. You're watching Men's Fashion Insider. Men's Fashion Insider introduces to you for the very first time in our coverage the new collection by designer James Long for Spring/Summer 2012.
The collection was a glamorous collection. All the key elements of the James Long brand, knit, leather, print, and I felt the collection looked really good, styled by Luke Day. You know, my usual team, Lucia Pica on makeup and Raphael Sally. So yeah, I was really pleased with it. It kind of all started, it was all about Edward James in Las Pazos, the garden, and in the 70s he was making the surrealist sculpture garden, and then that was sort of going on in Mexico, and then in London there was the glam rock scene happening, so it was a sort of a fusion of those two things. On the one hand it was sort of quite bohemian and sort of jungly, and on the other hand it was quite fierce and aggressive. Yeah, I think that there's always, within what I do, the silhouette will be for a number of men, so there will be a tight cut silhouette, and then there'll be a kind of a relaxed knitwear silhouette, and then there'll be a silhouette that translates to another kind of older guy. It's sort of, you know, you're thinking about a different men while designing, and it makes the collection varied and more interesting.
Don't you just love London? That was James Long with his collection for Spring/Summer 2012.
That's it for this week's show. We hope you enjoyed all things fashion. Tune in next week when we'll have coverage of Toronto's Bustle and New York's Perry Ellis. Marcellus?
Thanks, Chris. That concludes our coverage for this week, but do not despair because I shall return next week with another exciting episode featuring Kenzo's new collection for Spring/Summer 2012. From Mr. Chris Housen in North America, I'm Marcellus L. Jones here in Europe saying until next week, always remember to stay tuned and stay damn fashionable.